Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and please don't forget to vote. I'm not a crook.
What's not quite right with Point Break? The security cam has the same close-up of the dude's ass as the movie shot, which is just awful on every level.
27 banks in 3 years.
Put me down. We know each other.
That's a surfboard, all right. Looks like a 57 Chevy I used to have.
Trivia. The 57 Chevy was owned by Swayze's character in Dirty Dancing, so the line was likely a reference to that movie, which launched Swayze's career into the stratosphere in the late 80s.
Yeah. Good catch.
Trivia. Lori Petty talks about the stunts the actors did.
Oh, and the silly boys jumping out of the plane. I'm not doing that. They're crazy. They all jumped every morning. They said, "Oh, you're a pussy." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." So that was the scariest, yeah.
Another not quite right. The computer displays Tyler's hair color as black, but later in the scene when we see the monitor again, it's listed as blonde. Okay, that was a nitpick, but still. Johnny tackles Bodie in the surf, but as soon as the others run up, which is seconds later, they both appear drier than they should be.
Hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? I just think that's a little out of line.
Observation. This beach scene is shot day for night. You can tell by the shadows and hint of daylight on the water. I explained what day for night shooting is in more detail in The Way of the Dragon video. You can click the link in the description for that.
Shit out here, I'm gonna die.
Just feel the way.
A number of NQRs happen quickly in this part of the movie. One, we see Bodie soak the gas attendant in fuel. Then he's clearly dry a second later. 2. The ridiculousness of using a gas pump like a flamethrower. You can Google, "Can you use a gas pump like a flamethrower?" and get detailed answers from sites like Quora and Reddit. But it's exciting to see in the movie, right? We get it. 3. In the world of the story, Bodie burning the drop car makes no sense. Pause. The movie goes out of its way to show the gang is extremely disciplined at bank robberies. Inset.
Years. In and out in 90 seconds. No one ever gets shot. Now, what are we talking about here? We're talking about solid professionals.
Because of that, they didn't have to burn the getaway car because they left little evidence. So much so that they got away with robbing banks dozens of times in a 2-year period, including 4 times in the time of the movie alone. You may say that Bodie was pushing the line and living on the edge, but they make it clear in the movie that only pertained to extreme sports like surfing and skydiving. With the criminal activity, they were very careful. Even in the end, when Bodie called an audible and told them to hit the safe, something they'd never done before.
Mr. Duggan's got the keys.
Why are we going to the vault? We never go to the vault.
That wasn't reckless. That was because this was their last robbery because the feds were too close. So taking time to burn the car in the middle of a chase, in the world of the story, and how those characters acted, just makes no sense. And therefore, it's a not quite right. And 4, pause. Agent Pappas has a Charter Arms Undercover .38 Special revolver. The Undercover became quite popular as a backup weapon due to its compactness and light weight, at just 16 ounces. The gun was the smallest, lightest steel-framed revolver in the world with the fewest moving parts. It has a 5-round capacity. Resume.
Let's go, go!
But the biggest not quite right in the movie. Wait. At this point, the story is done. Go to multi-screen mode. Utah suspects Bodie's crew of being the ex-presidents.
You alright? You look like you saw a ghost.
Forget about it, kid. They're ghosts.
But the house is empty. They're definitely out of here.
God damn it. Why didn't you call me? They're probably halfway to Maui.
No. They've got to pick up some traveling money first. Assured trust tomorrow. Next day outside latest. I definitely got a feeling on this.
But he compromised his cover by openly chasing the bank robbers. If that's not enough, then Tyler threatening to kill him for lying about being an FBI agent, then running away, should be more than enough to alarm him that his cover is blown, or soon to be blown.
I work bank robbery. The guys I'm after are surfers. I needed you at first, but after that I did—
Fuck you! Don't you have a soul?
And why would Tyler be that upset that he's a Fed? At most, the revelation should be a slap in the face, not a blow your freaking head off while you sleep issue. In any case, there's no reason to believe she wouldn't rat him out to her friends. Tyler may not be as dirty as her friends, but she's certainly crime adjacent, hence her reaction.
Put me down. We know each other.
So there's no reason for Johnny to believe his cover's not blown at this point. The story ends here. And that's not in real life. That's in the logic in the world of the story. Closed construct.
Surf? Oh, this is different.
This is Nick Vision donor C.G. Fields, and what's not quite right with Point Break? Johnny jumps out of the plane with no parachute to go after Bodie in the last skydive. Freeze. We can clearly see the parachute bulge under the stuntman's shirt, but note the gun in his left hand. Resume. The gun switches from Johnny's left hand to his right hand after jumping on Bodie's back.
Now you pull it. Go ahead, Johnny, pull it. You gotta drop the gun, right? If you use your other hand, what are you gonna hold on?
Observation. In the last scene at Bell's Beach in Australia, there are huge pine trees in the background. There are no such trees at Bell's Beach. These scenes weren't shot anywhere near Australia. They were done in the States. Here is a bit of travel video showing the spot the end scenes were shot. It was actually filmed at Indian Beach in Ecola State Park in Oregon.
The ultimate rush. There's nothing that comes close to it. Not even sex.
We are the ex-presidents.
It's total commitment. It's a real thin line between life and death.
I'm not a cook.
It's not tragic to die doing what you love. If you want the ultimate, you gotta be willing to pay the ultimate price.
In Point Break, we see two actors reach their primes early in their careers. Patrick Swayze was arguably the bigger star in this project, starring in 3 extremely popular films in Dirty Dancing, Roadhouse, and Ghost. Keanu Reeves broke into the mainstream with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and 3 years before that, his first major film was the critically acclaimed drama River's Edge in 1986. With visually frenzied action scenes, and a cast that exhibited natural chemistry, Point Break took the cop action genre to the next level by injecting what would later in the 90s be called extreme sports into the mix. The movie was Kathryn Bigelow's highest grossing film until Zero Dark 30 in 2012. No neophyte when it comes to action and thrillers, Bigelow cut her cinematic teeth with the neo-western horror film Near Dark and the Jamie Lee Curtis-led cop thriller Blue Steel. Here, Bigelow talks about how she created the bank heist scenes.
So it's really a combination of shots. I mean, you have handheld masters where the cameraman is kind of countering the movement of the actor. In other words, which of course are broken by cutting, but the actor is moving through the whole sequence and the cameraman is moving constantly counter to his moves. And it just creates a kind of sense of momentum that is sort of like the way the human eye perceives momentum anyway, as opposed to a static camera completely through cuts. The camera is whipping from one piece of motion or action or visual information to another, which is how human beings perceive.
Siskel and Ebert were split on the movie, which was the general critical reaction at that time.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
It's a very good thriller. It makes a big effort to make these characters different from other characters in other thrillers. It's not just a carbon copy cop buddy.
It is not that bad. I can't recommend it because I think that the picture needed to be tightened up.
People will have a hard time finding a more entertaining thriller this summer.
Today, the movie enjoys a higher critical rating with a critic score of 69% and an audience score of 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. Though some plot points were questionable, Point Break is an overall high-octane thrill ride that justifies its cult classic status.
100% pure adrenaline.
Does either one of you have anything even remotely interesting to tell me?
Caught my first tube this morning, sir.
If you agree with this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if I missed an observation, let me know in the comments below. And if you would like to support the channel and videos, feel free to donate through PayPal or Cash App. And don't forget to pick up some cool NQR gear. All the links are listed in the description below. And thanks for watching.